Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live. Now, as the pandemic restrictions continue to ease around the country, many are starting to return to pre-pandemic levels of activity. But some of the leading organizations have begun to understand that their transformation to hybrid will be a longer-term journey in the continued evolution of the future of work. Now, Tango Matoti is Tetris Head of Workplace Planning and Strategy. She joins us this morning to shed more light on this trend and how to find balance, between hybrid work and office workplaces. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Lebo. Thank you for having me.
I suppose we should just start with even defining the two,
Yes.
hybrid and, actually being in the office physically. What is the difference?
Well, before COVID, everybody was used to going to the office 9 to 5, anything work-related you actually did within the confines of your office. And hybrid working now, because of COVID, which taught us that people can actually be productive working from home, is now a solution where organizations are starting to bring people back into the office, but staff are actually asking that we have the option and the flexibility to be able to work from home. So hybrid working is a combination of people who work from home and the office, and they decide, whichever the organization is, whether you come in once a week, 2 or 3 days a week, or full-time, and that is what hybrid working is.
And what can leaders do to make the new office with, people are so used to working from home. Yes. That, you can see that the production does continue as a company, and instead of taking employees going to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, what people can do is we have gotten used to the creature comforts of home. So let's start bringing that into the office. So, the cozier, softer things, your couch, being able to have the flexibility to get up and make a coffee, work in the canteen if you want to, because at home you can work at the kitchen table or the dining room table. So those flexibilities and creature comforts is something that people can actually bring in. And also we've found that people miss the social aspect and the collaborative aspect of actually being in the office. So people are fine to work in focus at home, but the need to collaborate, the team culture, the togetherness is why people are coming in. So organizations can actually focus on creating those spaces and making sure that the reason people are coming in, which is to meet, is actually facilitated as best as they can.
And which type of strategies should companies implement, to nurture, and retain skilled employees?
I think we need to look at what value proposition are companies actually bringing in, because honestly speaking, the well-being of everybody is something that's been highlighted, mental health, etc. So salary is not enough to bring people into the office. So if we can create spaces that will be safe enough for people to come back in, and spaces that will allow people to actually find that work-life balance. People should feel safe, people should feel comfortable, people should actually want to be within that space, and I think if they actually implement that, that will go a long way.
I was reading a tweet the other day about how a company was saying that people, should come back to the office, and so many of those people resigned because just the idea of going back to the office, is that the direction where we're heading now? And why would employees even go into that direction, risk not even having a second just because they say come back to the office?
I think we have forced ourselves to actually think and realize what is important and prioritize. And because we know that family or work-life balance and your own well-being, mental and physical, is actually important, the burnout factor and working that hard is actually not worth it anymore. And people are willing to go to organizations that will cater for that and open up and say, yes, if your strategy is everybody's coming back and you're going to be dictatorial about it, we will go somewhere where it's flexible and they actually care about me as an employee rather than about either numbers, bottom line, and management by sight, which is a very pre-COVID way of doing things where people need to see you in the office to believe that you're being productive, even though it's proven that you actually were productive being at home.
Are we seeing companies, though, moving in that direction where they're saying, let's be flexible, we can do hybrid, as long as the work is on the table at the end of this, then we're happy?
Definitely. So a lot of companies are moving into that space, and there is an uptake of hybrid working. And I think it is industry specific, though. There are certain industries where
like
you
us.
absolutely cannot work from home.
Yeah.
But I think in the flexibility of looking at your staff complement, the diverse people that you have in there, and how it can work for them, is how you actually try and keep them as far as you can.
Now, you know, the workplace of the future is said to be sustainable and ESG compliant. I mean, please elaborate more on how this can be achieved.
Yes, so sustainability is a big driver in design nowadays. It's no longer just about looking pretty, but we actually need to go beyond also just biophilic elements of adding plants, but we need to look at where is the furniture sourced? Is it sourced sustainably? And where is it produced or procured, and is it done ethically? And all of that feeds into the ESG compliance that companies have to now follow, because environmental, social and governance is something that they are actually scored on and are factors that help them with their sustainability goals. So if we can actually encapsulate that within the design in creating the entire space, it then helps them with that role. And actually, interestingly, at Tetris, we've developed a sustainability code, which is a free app that we actually offer to our clients. And it helps them track the sustainability of their project from beginning to end, and then allows them to actually, then if they want to have any certifications, offer those certifications, get them, or just be comfortable that they've met all their sustainable targets within that.
And what's been the response to the app?
A lot of people have actually been quite keen on it, because it does define the methodologies quite clearly, and it's easy to track. You can be anywhere because it is on your phone, and it's just a good update for leadership to be able to see the progress and make sure that they're going to get what they want at the end of the day.
And we're talking about a new office culture now. You know, it's emerging. What does it look like? And, you know, what are the design principles that support it?
I think the office culture is about being inclusive. It's about being diverse and creating a sense of belonging. So we're going beyond just staff are staff. So look at the personalities and the profiles that have now come out. And you have people that want to just be in the office 100% of the time. You have people that would rather come in once and, you know, are free spirits that want to roam around. And you also have the general hybrid worker who's happy with 2-3 days or different locations. And because of that, we need to then be specific about the spaces we design to make sure that those who want to focus have focus areas, quiet zones. Those who want the buzz and need to be attracted into the office, that your colorful areas, your interactive brainstorming areas, and the ones that will keep them charged and energized are also within that space, and then facilitate and work around that. And also diversity and inclusion obviously goes into also physical impairments or anything else that would make sure that everyone has a sense of belonging in the office space.
All right, Tango, thank you so much. Such an interesting conversation. Tango Matoti is head of workplace planning and strategy at Tetris, and we were speaking to her about how hybrid work is currently working out for South African workspaces. Unfortunately, we are not part of that. Let's take a quick ad break. We'll talk all things food with Mokhari Lelo after this. Stay with us.